What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. I have a returning guest, the Messenger, a guy that brought me into his video game music chat, his VGM journey. And since then, I tried to make friends with everybody because that's what I do wildly. Alex, tell us how you been, man.
I've been doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, so much is going on right now. You had retro video game day yesterday. You got Mario Day tomorrow. So I'm excited. There's so much going on, and again, thank you for bringing me into that community because, like I said, I'm like the rookie, man. So it's kind of fun.
Well, I've been really enjoying, having you on that Discord.
Thank you, thank you. I know I'm a little much at sometimes, but man, you know what? I just look at it this way: just try to spur up chat when you can, and just relate with people and get to know them so that they can come on a future episode, or if they have a spot open. I think it's just great to actually have that chance to be able to go on a podcast like with them too, and hearing all their views and everything from that, and just going back and going over their catalog and hearing a lot of you in that catalog. So I've been hearing you talk a lot actually this week.
Oh no.
It's not letting me get the one of the episodes. It's not letting me get the one. I don't know why. It's just giving me pain. It's bringing the pain to me. But I got the GameCube one and got that down. I want to say, yeah, that was the VGM Embassy.
Yep.
Yep. And then I got the hockey one. The hockey, dude, that was insane.
Oh man, and actually at that time I never really podcasted or anything, had like
Mhm.
a shitty mic and everything.
It
I was
sounded
so
good.
nervous to do it too.
Oh, hey, but you got that, and that was the thing. Like the first when well, I mean, the first time, it's the only time, but me and Martyrs will podcast again. But he was like, I'm normally a quiet guy, and he was like, I can't believe that I actually talked. And I'm like, dude, you talked a lot. So I'm sick. What more, what more could you want? Like, it's just like you get into a podcast, you start talking, and you go through so many things. That's why I love about it, and just being able to connect and stuff. But our last podcast was just practically interviewing you and talking about that. But I saw that you made the Faces of Erie. How did that happen? Just something just came up, popped up. They reached out to you.
Actually, I reached out to them.
Oh,
I don't know. I came across that project. I think somebody commented on one of their posts and it just kind of popped up on my news feed on Facebook and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is cool." So,
yeah.
I don't know. I just reached out to them. I was like, "Hey, I got a little project of my own.
Hmm.
I think I would be like the perfect person for this kind of thing." And I don't know, somehow
Yeah.
they accepted that and they were like, "Okay, let's get your picture taken."
So did they do like a over the phone interview? Did you go in, do an interview? How'd that all come about? Or how did it go down, I guess?
It was like pretty like quick and simple. I don't know. It just sent them an email, just a
Hmm.
little bit of a description on, why I
Hmm.
should be, a part of this and all that. And then they quickly got back to me and said, "Okay,
Yep.
we're good with that."
Yeah. And
And then
I was gonna throw in there too. You got into the under 40 too, right?
no, no, I have
Oh,
not.
okay. All right, but go on. What were you saying?
I'm trying to get on that too. I
I'll rally for you, man. I'll bring the pay for you, man. I'll keep mentioning it. I'll share. I don't care. Like I just that's what we do.
yeah, it was yeah, the Faces of Erie thing. I mean, I don't know, it just got accepted in that.
Hmm.
Kind of came up with a good time to do that, and I went and did that, and
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going into Masters of VGM season, right? Right? Am I right?
Oh yeah,
It,
uh, I'm not 100% sure if they're doing it again, but if
okay,
they are,
okay.
it should be coming up in a few months.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if there is, it's like right now you might want to. I mean, I know a few of you actually plan like months in advance at some on some of these podcasts and the things you guys throw together, or the stipulations, the rules, or how they change. So I know it's been a different theme practically every year, and this has been going for 3, 4 years.
If it does happen this year, this will be the 3rd year of doing it.
Okay. Hmm. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. It's great to see all that. So because I wanted to bring that up because it was, something that I looked forward to. And then, going back through everybody's back catalogs, like, Martyrs is of course VGM, and then of course the Shujin Academy with Professor Tom. And then now I'm seeing them pop up on the VG Embassy, and then of course BG Mania as well, too. So it's good to just see a lot of the different takes and to go into that. But I haven't got to everything yet because there's just so much.
Oh man, all that is overwhelming. I'm just gonna throw that out there. If you
Yeah.
want to listen to everything, I mean, you're gonna have to put a whole lot of time into it.
Oh no, no. Just I was BGM Mania has, what, 290 some episodes or something like that. And a lot of them are about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Whew.
That's a whole lot of music that they're playing too.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I thought it was actually really cool. So it was like where sometimes I'm always on to like try to keep it to a minimum or whatnot. They increase the talking with a lot of the knowledge. That goes to say, both BGM Mania and then of course VG Embassy, that they do a lot of that talking, a lot of depth. Because when you were on those, you guys were just talking and then like popping ahead to that GameCube episode where you were talking, where you were like, how did we not get this hockey game on our hockey episode? I thought that was funny. So, woo. So, like, do you have any collabs coming up soon or anything like that?
As of right now, no, I don't.
Okay. I mean, I know you always got something planning. It's you're probably pulling your hair out because of the Penguins. So let's get to the NHL trade deadline. Some crazy things happened. The Kings did absolutely jack shit. I'm don't really like that. And everything I'm reading from what a few people said, that the Kings kind of really hurt themselves by not trying to strengthen something on their team. But we don't need to talk too much about the Kings. What's a few of the names, a few of the moves that you thought that stuck out to you that makes some of the teams that are strong or trying to get a playoff position good moves?
Well, I guess for starters, I mean, I will have to bring up my Penguins in this because they traded Jake Gensel to Carolina,
Yeah.
who, you know, they're Carolina's a really good team.
Well,
And I think getting a guy like Gensel, I think could be a big difference maker for them.
yeah, I mean, when you're practically in first place in points, and everybody's you see the one thing I was looking at that is that whole conference is kind of a little farther apart rather than, of course, where the Kings are. They're kind of just in the thick of thieves and things right now. Everybody's like in it. So you brought that up. It's a great move for Carolina. But what's going on with the Penguins? Are we gutting them?
It seems like to me they might be in sort of I don't want
It's
to
hard.
say they're in a rebuild
No, no, I agree with you on that. But
because I don't know, they believe that they still have the talent to win some
mhm,
more championships.
yeah.
Obviously, that won't be the case this year, but
Mhm. Yeah.
they think that maybe just kind of tweaking the roster up a little bit, trying to get a little younger too.
Mhm.
Maybe that'll be the push for them to go back to winning championships. But
Mhm.
man, to be honest, I'm not like sure about everything on that.
So, I mean, this is one of those things. Do you trade your star player away? But you can't. I think you have to keep Crosby for his whole career there. But the value they would be able to get for him, it would help that team get young, but you can't step away. So who do you really trade? You don't really have any other ways, but other than what they did, they got picks. They did what they had to do to look forward. I mean, but let's say how long do you think Crosby really has? 5 more years, maybe?
I would say 5 years tops.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would definitely need those picks to pay off and then go into free agency this year and get something, sign somebody who could add a spark to that team and, create more lines because it just seems like the lines are getting so many different plays now. Like hockey's changed a lot from when, watching it and then, me watching it now. And I'm seeing all these line changes going on a lot more, frequent. And a lot of the deeper the lines are actually getting more playing time, it seems like. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but that's something I've been kind of looking at from a DFS kind of standpoint. And I've been noticing. So maybe I'm noticing it wrong, but that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about too.
I think you're definitely right that I think shifts. I think they're getting a little bit shorter. I think typically like your third and fourth lines, like they don't really get too much ice time, but
Hmm.
I think in this day and age, so I think like back then, like your fourth line was just pretty much like your checking line. These
Yeah.
are guys that, they're not really goal scorers or anything. They're pretty much just out there to,
Hmm.
I don't know, lay out some big hits and all that. But I know they've been trying to like get away from that, and they're like, okay, hey, maybe you guys are not the best of the best, but we kind of have a little bit of high expectations, from
Hmm.
you. We want you to really, like, I guess, contribute to teams' offenses and all that.
Hmm.
Um, I mean,
Yeah.
I noticed the last like maybe 10 or so years, I mean, the game's kind of transitioned to more of a speed game.
Yeah, yeah, it does seem faster. That's something I've noticed. And so like maybe that speed is because everybody's more fresh and just those line changes are making it look a lot, which I'm fine because they say that's the fastest sport anywhere. And it is. You get it's just like when you go to a live game, of course, being at Erie, being Otter fans, we see so much. But that just brings it up. And then, you know, going back to the Hurricanes adding Kuznetsov, right? Did I say that? Kuznetsov? I think.
Well, no, 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 Jake Gensel.
No, but they added Kuznetsov too, right? Yeah,
No, no.
they added
Oh,
him.
wait, wait, wait. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they added him too. That's another thing. Because I wanted to, like put down the things of what we got. And it's
That
just like,
guy, that guy, he's in a little bit of an interesting position because I know that he was having a little bit of what I would call off ice issues and stuff. And
uh-huh.
um I think he I think the way that I like look at that, like I think maybe he just kind of needed like, I don't know, maybe a fresh start
Okay.
elsewhere.
No,
And
I
that,
get it.
I don't know, I think a team like Carolina, you know, I think it's pretty fresh, I would say.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, with Pinsel and with him coming aboard, you could easily, like, if he's on this road to retribution, throw him on the third line. Maybe put him on the second until he gets his feet, more wet. Well, ice, you can't really get wet ice and get him on there because he's definitely gonna contribute to this team. And moves like this say that they're going through the juggler and they have the team to do it. But man, then you see the Vegas Knights who kind of are behind the Kings right now, picking up Thomas Hurdle and then Noah Hannafin, and then they got Anthony Mantha as well too. So they're trying to say, hey, if we have a shot at making the playoffs, we're just gonna bring these guys in and see if we can make that final push.
I will say that I really liked what Vegas did for
Mm-hmm.
the trade deadline. Um, I mean, I guess they really had to go all in. I mean, they're the defending champs. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if we're gonna go for it, let's go for it again.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, what do you
I
got
was
to
a bit
lose?
surprised on the slump that they were having, but
Yeah.
I feel like these are moves that I think they could kind of turn things around again, and I think they're gonna play like a high level of hockey like the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm every time I see like when the Kings are matched up with them, I know it's going to be a hard game. I mean, that's just what Vegas has done. Like, you again, defending champs, they're coming in here. They've been a force to reckon with for the last few years, actually, since they came into the league, honestly. and they're doing things that they're making their fans proud, and that makes them make moves like this because at least they're giving back to their fans. Unlike the Kings, God, what this was so and then so you got the Devils got their goalie, with Jake Allen, and then of course they moved Tyler Toffoli to the Winnipeg Jets. I'm a Toffoli fan, but I think at this point right now he's kind of running around. But adding that goalie for the Devils, did you check that out? Do you think that that's going to help them out at all, or do you think it's really not going to change anything that they're doing right now with their team? Because I mean, they only have 66 points.
Uh, I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do much for them this year, but I think it will put them on the path of kind of just getting back to being a good team next year.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I feel like it might be too little too late for them.
And, we'll move along real quick to the Rangers adding Jack Ruslovic. He came from the Blue Jackets. And I mean, I mean, the Blue Jackets right now, oh, man, they're getting it bad, man. They're just at the bottom.
I know nothing's going right for Columbus. I mean, I will say at least they make Pittsburgh look good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those games you could say, yeah. And they're like kind of they're behind you guys, but they're not going to catch you because, like you said, you get that. And then you have Tampa Bay Lightning getting Matt Dumba, and then of course because they had an injury, it was Sergachev, and bringing in Dumba kind of helps fill that position on the team. How did you feel about that move?
I think it was an all right move. I think I think just like the Devils, like I personally I don't think it's gonna do too much for them, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Dumba's a pretty good player. I mean, they definitely needed somebody, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll read out. So the Panthers getting Kyle Okaposo. I like him. I like him. I was like, this nice little ad to them right now. And when you're again one of the top teams and you're bringing in people that can actually play, then what more do you want? You're adding somebody strong. It's like it would, it's like those mid-season trades that can change. Like when what was his face that came from Arizona, Josh Dobbs, when he went to the Vikings, he was able to provide, a lot of electric to that team, and then it kind of faded out at the end. Then of course the team knew that they had to go a different direction. So in comes, their rookie. But at the same time, when you flip it back, you have all this going on right now, and you have a team stepping up again. This, I mean, I hope the Kings can actually get in the playoffs because these playoffs are going to be wild.
oh yeah. I think especially in the West.
Oh, yeah, that's why. That's why I'm worried if we might not make it. Because again, I will say that I do feel good about our team, but at the same time, sometimes you want to see that extra move to see how much people are really all in, how that team's all in. But you know what? I'm fine with it. Hey, whatever happens, happens. At least they're putting a good product on the ice for us Kings fans to watch.
Well, I think for me, I mean, this is going to be the second year in a row where I'm not really going to have too much of an investment in the playoffs just
Hmm.
because, I mean, it's looking like Pittsburgh's going to miss the playoffs
Yeah.
again.
Uh,
So I think for me, it's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to watch a whole lot of good playoff hockey games.
hmm.
Not, not really going to be necessarily rooting for anybody, but I know that everyone's going to put on a real good show.
Yeah, yeah. And and I'll round this out for the picks and then we'll move along. Seattle Kraken's re-signing Jordan Eberle. I thought that was a great sign for him. He's definitely proved that he should be in Seattle and he has been a big part of that team. So that I thought was really good going for their future and going into their, you know, future as well.
I definitely wanna see the Kraken succeed. I mean,
Hmm.
they're the newest team in the
Yeah,
league. I know it's
coolest
been
name.
It is a really cool name.
I know, man. You when you could go with a mythical monster, I mean, come on. I love that stuff, man. But talking all this stuff about mythical monsters brings us back to what we really love as well too, which is video game music, video games. And we've talked a lot over the years and everything. So I saw I saw a little fight between two people and maybe a third or fourth person. I didn't really add too much. I said one thing, left it alone. This guy said that NHL 95 was far superior to NHL 94. I just found that hard to believe.
I am curious though, what is his argument for that?
I didn't follow it the whole thing. He just said it was better music, better overall logistics of the game. Maybe I feel that his team probably was better in that game as well too. But again, I want to go back to the 94 game. It was more than just 94 finally putting it over it. It was about playing that game with a lot of your friends. The music soundtrack was, of course, there. But man, the Kings with Gretzky, Rudy, Robitaille, Blake, I just, oh man, I love that team. I miss it. I miss it. So,
I
yeah.
know that the Penguins on 94, I mean, they were a ridiculous team.
Oh, shoot.
I mean that first line is ridiculous. I mean, you got Lemieux, you got
Yep.
Yager,
Yep. You guys
um,
had what's his face was your goalie too. What starts with a B, right?
yeah, Tom Barrasso.
Barasso. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that team, that's another thing about that game too that was really fun. It was you didn't have to just pick one team. I didn't always have to be the Kings. My friend that I played a lot of it with was a Blackhawk fan at that time. The Blackhawks were like jacked in that game. And the another team, it was the Rangers. The Rangers had Messier. It just man. And Philly was strong too then too. There's a lot going on.
I I will say like the team ratings and stuff, they were kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you had some of the teams that you were naming, like the Blackhawks, the
Hmm.
Rangers, Penguins, Bruins,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
then like you had some other teams like the Mighty Ducks and
When they were
um
the Mighty Ducks.
the Sharks.
Oh,
They weren't very good on that game.
no, no. And that kind of you again pulls that in a little bit. So I'm gonna actually speed a little ahead on I had a PC version of NHL 2002, and me and my friends somehow had taken some years off. We played NHL 98 a lot. That was one because I think that was the first one on that was it the PlayStation 2. I would say PlayStation 2 was NHL 98 on, but yeah, because Madden was also 98. Madden was the PlayStation 2, I think, right?
I
Yeah. Anyway.
I want to I want to say '01. I think it was like a little further ahead.
Okay.
Um I think
So,
what sucked for me was I didn't have a PlayStation 1. I had an
mhm.
N64 and like the only NHL game that they had on the N64 was NHL I want to say 99.
Yeah, it was PlayStation. Yeah, okay. 99. That I do I'll say that Madden 99 was really cool too. I really liked that for the game or the Nintendo 64. I had that. That was fun. So no, I think you're going off that. So 2002, I'm pretty sure it was Yager was on the front of the cover. It was I'm pretty sure it was Yager. And that game alone felt so good. That's why it was one of those games where we took a few years off from hockey, but we were still kind of playing 98 a little bit. And then we got into and all my friends would be like, we normally play on our big screen TVs at this point, not too big, because TVs weren't that advanced yet. But we just crowd around a computer screen. And I had about a 19-inch computer screen, which makes you think I'm sitting here like it's back in the old days with my Atari on my little TV, black and white or whatnot. And we're sitting here playing a hockey game with that, but I cannot tell you how many. I think I played more people because it was usually me and my friend Dewan that played the '94 game, and then it was me, this dude Crick, and then his buddy Chris wasn't around. But then eventually, this Crick and Chris came back around for the 2002, and so the one was a Colorado Avalanche fan, the other one's a Flyers fan. So the dude Crick was a Flyers fan. So that was when they had the Legion of Doom, Leclaire, you know, and the Kings were okay. That's when we had Ziggy Palfy, man. Ah, God, I had such a so one time, and I'm gonna let you wait because this is like one of those moments in life. I was like, man, why do I have such a why am I so connected with Ziggy Palfy? He's born on May 5th. It's my birthday.
Nice.
Oh God, I love that man. Oh man, that's it. That's what brought back. So, was there any other NHL games that really kind of brought that back for you, or is doing that right now? Are you playing the newest one right now, kind of keeping up, or no?
Yeah, actually, I do play quite a bit of NHL 24, the newest one, and
Hmm.
like I think it's a pretty solid game. It's nothing mind blowing. Um,
Okay.
I mean, if you haven't played an NHL game in a few years, I mean, I'm sure it's like really good. Um, I think the last one that I thought was like really amazing
Hmm.
was NHL, I would say 14.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
I've heard you mention that. I think on one of the when you were doing the hockey podcast, you guys brought up 14. I had the EA pass, so I played. What is? I don't think I played 14. I want to say I played 16 or 17, maybe, and then like 20 or something like that. Maybe I'm a little ahead because they give out the free games sometimes, so you get that. But I had that EA pass, I think, for 3 years. So I want to say, and I ended that about a year and a half ago. So I think I got 18, 19, 20, 21, or some kind of situation of that. So, but I didn't play it deep.
um, I think like at that time I used to play with my friends a lot and like I was really good and I always had this ridiculous thing of if I ever went like short-handed, other
Hmm.
teams on the power play and all that,
Hmm.
I play really aggressively and for some reason, I don't know, I have a gift of scoring short-handed goals.
Yes.
And it got so bad that, like, my friends pretty much, like, coined my penalty kill as the messenger power play, and, like, my theory is, I think, like, the AI or something for, like, the teams that are, like, on the power play, they, like, dumb down or
Hmm.
something, I don't
Like
know.
some momentum kind of thing.
Maybe,
I mean, that's
like
sometimes a selection in the games, momentum and stuff. You never know.
it just seems like, I don't know, I'm just, like, I'm unstoppable when I'm shorthanded. Apparently, I just need to send my guys to the box all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Just don't even start a guy. Just keep it out there. Have you ever got wild and just played as like took the goalie off auto and put him on manual? Isn't that like the biggest headache in the world?
I've, I never really done it myself, but, like, there's, like, a few times, like, when I'm, like, playing online and,
Hmm.
like, I'll be, like, going on a breakaway, and all of a sudden, they switch over the goalie, and, like, he comes out and just fucking tries to crash into me, and I'm like, "You gotta be shitting me."
Yes, yeah, they're mean, dude. That's what me and because I brought it up because again, like during 2002, I was having to play the Avalanche. I was having to play against the Flyers, and then of course the dude Crick, he would go use not the Devils. He would go use the Detroit. So you'd have was Osgood versus Waugh, and then I'm sitting there, the Kings. We got a crappy goalie. I don't even can't remember. Like I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. He used to get shot up, man. It was before Quick. Quick was like, "Thank you," and so I would just get shot up. But this he would always just drop it with Leclaire or yeah, or oh man, who else was on? Who was on the other part of the Legion of? Doom for Philly. It was Leclerc and God, I can't even remember him. He was really good too. He was actually the superhero. Oh man, I'll pull it up. So he would drop the puck and he would hold on to it and he would always get my dude. And I was just like, dude, that's so dirty, so dirty. And I would get so mad. So that's what led to us actually doing the auto and going on with that. I was like, I was not playing that game anymore with that guy because I was like, dude, but and then it just got worse. We got really good at it, but it would still be like 4, 5, 6 goals in a game. Like it's just hard. It's it was it so going back, was there one of your friends back in the day, did they use a team that would get under your skin?
Not really. It's actually
There it is.
well, we were all Pens fans, and, like, I don't know, we were just like, "Okay, we're just gonna hit random.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it all up to chance. Whatever team that, you land on, that's just who you're gonna play as."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You get to that too. Go. So that's what
so
it
it
did.
so it's like, well, tough shit if you wound up having to play as, like, the Arizona Coyotes or the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hey, that is so Eric Lindros, John Leclerc, and Mikael Renberg, Legion of Boom. Or Doom, Legion of Doom. That's what they called him. He changed names. So I had to call my guys because I couldn't put up with that rush sometimes. So I called my guys the bumpuses. So I would take the defensive guy, I would stay on him and I would bring him up because I know that they would always outperform maybe my second line at that time. And he would come in and I would just hit him. It was the only shot I had against Colorado. And I mean that Colorado team, that was Joe Sakic. I
Team
couldn't.
was stupidly good.
Yeah, it's like I just like, come on, man. Like, I was always underwhelmed. And even as a Rams fan, like then the Rams were like nothing then. So like I had all these years up until like, of course, the greatest show on turf when I got Marshall Falk. I had those years, but then I had only that the Steven Jackson years. So, when I got up to like Madden 2006. But something you guys brought up, I just remember too, you guys brought up the NHL 2K series for the Dreamcast. That was actually one of the other ones we played a lot of too before I think moving over to the PC completely. But the NHL 2K series, man, that was a really good one too. So yeah. So so we talked about this. I want to talk about a little like other podcasts and things that you might, get and venture into. So I know that you have this VGM journey, right? Have you ever thought about doing like an art one, like having Carly on and talking about art or what kind of like strokes changing it up? Maybe not just going from the VGM, anything else like that. Have you ever thought about it?
Uh, kind of. I mean, there were times where, like, I thought, "Okay, maybe I wanna, like, do, like, a hockey podcast
Okay.
or just I guess just a general video game
Mhm.
podcast,"
Yeah.
but my passion's always just really been about, video game music, so
Mhm. Yeah, you guys are awesome. You know, we'll start wrapping things up here, so we're gonna get to your stuff. But I want to talk about that there is a passion, like the way you guys talk about chip tunes and things. It blows my mind. I never thought to ever go look any of that up in my entire life. It's outstanding. And then to, have you guys open my mind to all of that stuff again, just goes back to the credit and gives credit to everything and everybody in those rooms, like Robin Purnell, and it just there's so many influences like Martyrs talked about them. So when he said I always like their bonus round or bonus time. So that's why I have that little thing at the end when I go VGM override. Such a nerd, man. Such a nerd. Love it. So, but yeah, going into the future and everything like that, I'm down to talk about anything. We talked about doing a Final Fantasy one before and just, doing that. I'm down to do anything like that with you. If you, haven't really explored something on the VGM journey yet, I'm not sure how much Final Fantasy you've played. I know you've played some. So, how, like, if you wanted to ever do like a series one, I'm down for anything, man. Just, throw it together. We'll keep it simple.
Yeah, I definitely wanna do that, and I know that we have talked about it.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll get it. We're gonna get it. And then that I have to come on your podcast. Man,
I know you've had me on here twice already. I still gotta get you on Journey at least once.
oh, I want to go on Journey a lot. That's why I said you could just keep popping up the quests. Just go on another quest. I'm ready for it, man. Because whatever you want to cover, whenever you have time, keep. I'm down. If you only got 40 minutes one day, 30 minutes one day, or an hour one day, and you want to do it, I definitely want to get on that because it's just like the way that you and like everybody else handle the shows and bring in the music, and then you showing me that website. Oh, thank you. I was like, I clicked that link and I was like, oh,
I know it's a treasure trove of goodness. I will
oh,
tell you that.
yeah, it's good. So let's as we're gonna wrap things up now, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at.
Well, the main site that you could find me on is see, I never really know like what to tell people because it used to be called Anchor FM, but now it's
Mhm.
called Spotify for podcasters. So
Okay.
just look pretty much just look up a VGM Journey on Spotify. You'll find that. And I am on all the like normal podcasting services like
Yep.
Apple Podcast and um
Podbean. That's where I listen to you. I
oh
listen
yeah.
to you on Podbean. I just for some reason that app just runs podcasts just nice. So I just like put there, it puts it in, and I just hit play, and that's how I do it.
In the last like few months I got added to this one called Terra Player, which
Okay.
they have like a bunch of different video game and video game music podcasts on there. Actually, that's I will say that thing is really cool. They also have, like, different, like, video game music radio stations on there
Oh,
too.
that's nice.
So
All right. Well, I'll put all the links in there. So have a great day, Alex.